Disney, by the looks of it, has canceled their Indiana Jones series on Disney Plus to focus on Star Wars content. And these are just rumors, but we're starting to see more and more articles come out about the situation. I mean, anyone with a rational thought would look at these numbers, 2.8 billion to 51.8 billion dollars, especially a business, and see where the money is at. No clue why they aren't or haven't been focusing on Star Wars, that being the cream of the crop of entertainment, at least it once was, to having Disney now wanting to resurrect Indiana Jones because they can't make anything new. They just can't, and they're more than likely going to screw up that whole franchise just as they did with Star Wars. And let's just get into this article. Disney reportedly ordered Lucasfilm to stop focusing on $2.8 billion Indiana Jones franchise, prioritize $51.8 billion Star Wars after the Mandalorian success. Star Wars is undoubtedly the studio's most commercially successful theatrical franchise right after Marvel. Owned by Lucasfilm, the $51.8 billion franchise has generated endless profit through its films, television series, and merchandise. And after 2019's The Mandalorian, which was a massive hit all over the world, Disney is reportedly planning on making the space opera franchise its focal point in the coming days. And with that franchise being a commercial success, you would have thought that Disney would have at least respected the IP and done it justice, but of course they haven't. And when it comes to The Mandalorian, it is starting to slow down. And when it comes to viewership numbers, you had the Book of Boba Fett beat it by 2%. That is something I wasn't expecting, as we all know just how bad that show was. And not even good shows such as Andor and The Mandalorian can even save this franchise. According to reports, this is going to be carried out by ramping up the famous Indiana Jones franchise, which too is possessed by Lucasfilm. This would make it easier for the studio to divert all its focus on Star Wars and the first order of business, for the same is the rumored shelving of the upcoming Indiana Jones spin-off series. And with the cancellation of the Indiana Jones series, it does make sense. You've had very recently Marvel delaying most of their shows, changing their estimated date to release to coming soon, not coming to a date of a release date or schedule. I'm just wondering who on earth asked for an Indiana Jones show? Who wanted that? You have fans wanting a R-rated Darth Vader series or movie centered around Order 66, or even see some Old Republic stuff. But time and time again, Disney hasn't listened. They are sitting on this gold mine and choose to not listen, but would rather do these sequels to an already well-ended trilogy and possibly take a dump all over it and ruin it. As per industry insider Jeff Snyder, certain sources have confided in him about the Indiana Jones franchise's days being limited at Disney+. Just last November, Disney and Lucasfilm announced that an untitled Indiana Jones spin-off series was in the works, but it looks like the show might not even see the light of day after all, with the studio reportedly shifting its prime focus to the Star Wars franchise instead. I mean, why wouldn't they? Star Wars is a cash cow, at least when it comes to toys and merchandising, as well as with the Star Wars theme parks. But when it comes to their movies, that hasn't been the case. You had these sequel trilogy tank many fans' enjoyment in the franchise, and then when we finally get something good, such as Andor and The Bad Batch Season 2, no one is watching it. It just shows you how badly Disney as a company managed Lucasfilm in allowing Kathleen Kennedy to put her fingers all over the name of Star Wars and provided little to no value in return through all her years being present over at Lucasfilm. And the damage is starting to show, especially in The Mandalorian. With the whole dilemma of Gina Carano, it's not getting the same viewership numbers prior to the show's previous 2 seasons. And many are just simply done with Star Wars and don't want or have no desire and excitement as they once had when it comes to a new Star Wars release and wanting to go and see it. And I think it's already to the point where Star Wars is dead in the water. Even with the cancellation of this Indiana Jones series to focus more on Star Wars, I still don't think it'll do much. If Andor couldn't do anything, nothing will, because that show was amazing and yet no one watched it. People are just churning and walking the other way and looking for other sources of entertainment, because nostalgia can only play into a franchise so much. And even with that nostalgia, companies such as Disney still managed to mess it up. You had the Obi-Wan series, and what happened to the show? It wasn't even focusing on Obi-Wan or Darth Vader, which is what everyone wanted to see, which leads to many not caring and ultimately giving up on the franchise and moving on. And it's already been 6 years since the last Star Wars movie was released. It just shows you how bad of management Lucasfilm and Disney both are in, and they can't even get a movie to release and be out. Instead, we just had Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins' Star Wars movies canceled, as well as Damon Lindelof exit his Star Wars movie. And with all that in mind, I need your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.